have a fantastic little army for you guys today. 2,400 points worth of Vostroyan First Born, Imperial Guard, or Astra Militarum for the kids. So, Josh, do you want to take us in for a closer look?
Alright, first off, we've got one platoon of 40 Imperial Guardsmen. Every single sergeant is armed with a bolt gun. Then you've got one single Voxcaster in there to one of the squads. At the back, you've got all your command and HQ section. So you've got a company commander with his squad, which has got one sniper rifle. The flag is just for effect. A nice Voxcaster in there, a Master of the Ordnance and a Master of the Fleet on the other side, along with a Tech Priest. And then you've got two level 2 Psychers, one's Divinations, one's Telepathy. Then you've got the Wolf Priest. Sweet. Then we've got the Fast Attack here. We've got 2 Vendettas. The Storm Lord, which has got the company command for the platoon over there, just riding in the back.
And just give us a little detail about this Storm Lord, because a lot of people won't be familiar with it.
Storm Lord is Lord of War choice for the Imperial Guard Codex. We've got a Vulcan Mega Bolter on there from the Titan, which is 15 shots at Strength 6, AP 3. If it doesn't move, can fire twice. Pack in a pair of las cannons, 3 twin-link bolt guns, and some heavy stubbers on the back. Right.
And it can hold people in it, can it?
It can hold up to 40 people, and it counts as...
Up to 40?
It counts as an open top for assault purposes.
Fantastic piece of kit.
Okay, then we have the Pask Star at the front here. We've got Pask with a Punisher, a las cannon, and twin multi-melters on the side. Then we've got Relic Inquisitor Court he has, a level 1 Divination Inquisitor, and then you've got 3 Henchman squads, each with 2 Henchmen and 1 Psyker each.
And what models are these?
These are the Elysian Drop Troopers standard models and the Primus Psychers and
the bullpup blast rifles.
Yeah.
Love it. Fantastic. Well, thanks. So here we have an equally stunning army for you today, people. This is a real treat of a battle rep. As we said, I'm really looking forward to filming it. I can't wait. So, Andy, do you want to take us in for a closer look? 2,400 points of Salamanders, I believe, today.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So we've got the tactical squads at the front. First we've got the Melter squad. We've got a Melter Bomber Sergeant, Melter Gun and a Multi-Melter with a Rhino. Then we've got the Plasma squad with Plasma Pistol Sergeant, Plasma Gun and Plasma Cannon with another Rhino. Then we've got the Grav squad. So we've got Combi Grav Sergeant, Grav Weapon and a Heavy Bolter there. Then we've got Centurions with Grav Weapons and Hurricane Bolters. Then this is the Stern Guard squad. So there's 6 Combi Flamers and a Heavy Flamer, and then a level 2 Librarian of Pyromancy.
Librarian. I love that model.
Yeah, he's got a Storm Shield and 4 sacks.
And a sweet paint job.
They're rated in the big yellow Fireball, the Redeemer there, with extra armour and multi-melter. That's the Land Raider dedicated transport for the Centurions over here. And then a bit of flying support with the Storm Raven, Hurricane Bolters, and we've got...
Last Melter standard.
And then we've got the Typhoon missiles on that, so...
2,400. So here we have the field of battle after deployment. The game is Cleanse and Control. It is, of course, just your standard Dawn of War setup. In terms of objectives, we have one here. We have one here. Then we also have a third one here. A fourth one there, just in the doors of that graveyard. And then a fifth one just here, in that corner. The last one there. In terms of the armies, we have the 10 vets there. We have a line of 25 conscripts providing cover to the Armour 14 Pascanator crew. Then we have the Stormlord, and he is sort of just behind a blob of 40 normal Firstborn, with all the characters in there, Psychers, all that kind of thing. And then over here on the Salamanders side, we have 3 rhinos just sort of parked up in the car park here. We have the plasma guys on the right flank, then Melter in the middle, Flamer on the left, next to the Redeemer. The Redeemer's packing the Librarian and also the Stern Guard. And then finally we have the Centurions rocking it down the left flank in final Land Raider. So let's roll some dice. So after the Vostroyan movement first turn, these guys have pushed forward a little bit. The whole line has basically just pushed forward, pretty much stayed in the exact same formation. These commanding unit have separated off. Now when it got to the psychic phase, it was a bit of a surprise. We hadn't really added up how many dice Josh got, but it was quite significant because of all these little psychers. So we got Prescience off on the Stormlord, and also Scry's Gaze, which gives him +1 to his reserves rolls, or is it re-rolls? Something like that. And then he also got his Commander of the Fleet, is it called? Yeah, to -1 to Andy's reserve roll, so he's coming in on a 4-up. So yeah, we'll get on with shooting. So after the guard shooting phase, basically the Punisher cannon, there was only one in range. This guy, he blasted off at this Rhino along with all the auxiliary fire, the last cannons and such. Managed to do 1 hull point because Andy's Warlord trait meant that it was night fighting, but he has night vision. So that's really been helping him out. In fact, it really helped him out when is it Hellstorm? Yeah. Unleashed absolutely every gun. So that's 2 last cannons, 3 heavy bolters, and the Hellstorm
Vulcan Mega Bolter.
Vulcan Mega Bolter. And it's so many names to remember, dude. And basically unleashed everything at this one solitary Rhino and managed to do a mere 2 glances. In terms of everything else, out of range, that kind of thing, last gun, so he's just running forward. The conscripts got a measly 1 inch, too busy discussing the finer points of mahogany, no doubt, with them being Vostroyans. And these guys got 6, so they're obviously really gunning for it, running straight towards the flamers and that kind of thing. Got to respect that. These uniforms do look rather flammable though, so we'll see what goes down. So with the roar of engines, the Space Marines have surged forward, kicking open the doors of their rhinos. They've poured out, ready to face off against the Vostroyan lines, take them by surprise with some close range fire. As you can see, the other forces just pushed up as well. We have the Stern Guard veterans leaping out here, backed up by the Librarian, although he failed to get anything done in the psychic phase. Unfortunately, overwhelming, psychic abilities from Guard, which just seems weird to say that, but there you have it. And then over here, of course, we have the Centurions pointing towards a hapless firstborn son whose younger brother may well be taking over the Eyre family estates rather soon. Let's see what happens. As you can see here, the Space Marines have cleared a little bit of no man's land between them and the Vostroyans, although in doing so, clearly they have exposed themselves to a hell of a lot of Punisher fire, inconveniently removing these conscripts out of the way for the guardsmen, which I can't help feeling was probably the commander's plan in the first place. It's just epic destruction. I think the Flamers got, 20 odd? 27, and yeah, just bolters unleashed. As you can imagine, it was just took chunks out of the Vostroyan lines. And now let's see what the return fire is going to do. I think it'll be equally as punishing. At the end of turn 1 for everybody, objectives wise, because it's Maelstrom, Andy got twice as many objectives as 2 objectives and twice as many as his opponent. He rolled a 5, so he got 3 points there. And then Josh was on that at the end of his turn, and thus got a point for that, didn't you, Josh? So onwards to turn 2. The Inquisitor, declining the offer of safety from the crew of the Hellstorm, has decided to push forward towards the elite Stern Guard here, probably looking at an assault there. The Psyker managed to cast Forewarning on there, giving them a 4-up invuln save, getting them in combat against the Overwatch. Other Psychic Prescience was cast on both the Pascanator squad and also on the Hellstorm, so every tank on the line has rerolls to hit. That's fantastic. In other movement and such, the two air support units managed to skim onto the board from this corner, looking to do a strafing run before the Space Marines air support come in. We'll see a dogfight. These guys pushed up towards this objective here, and we forgot to mention earlier, but the conscripts actually broke and fell back behind the lines. So onto some Mega Bolter firing at these Space Marines, this untouched squad here. So it gets to fire twice.
Right, first rolls. Get to re-roll because of my psychic power, which is currently benefiting the tank. And hence there, these. And strength 6 against the toughness 4, it is AP 3. And so 2 do not wound. 1, 2, 3, 7.
And then again.
Stern Guard squad.
So now the second round of shooting is going into the Stern Guard squad because it can fire a different unit with the second round of shooting.
Second round of shooting.
No way. Okay.
We've got cover save this time though.
Yeah, you do. I would have just gone for the same unit again and just finished them. That's nice.
1 miss.
It's a beast, isn't it?
It's an absolute beast.
All wounds.
AP3. So what's the cover on that? 4 or 5?
The first 2 wouldn't get any.
4 up, yeah.
Those 2 wouldn't get any from then on.
From this now?
So as you can see, Pass got on his little radio mic there. Just put a single 3-word order out. Came out across the box to all the Imperial Guard. Killed them all. He unleashed on his own against this unit here. Managed to strip them down to, it was just 5 guys after he finished with them, wasn't it?
Mm.
And then his buddies both unleashed on this unit with the plasma. Took a toll, did 6 to them. Then the Hellstorm, Storm Sword, whatever it is. It's just the beast. Then unleashed, as we saw, managed to shred these guys down to 5 guys, and these guys lost 2 or 3, wasn't it?
They lost 3 in total.
Yeah, 3 in total. In terms of other shooting, the Flyers came in and just basically bounced off the Redeemer and last cannons and various bits and bobs from over here. Managed to pop this round and just wreck it. So that's it. Not as brutal as I thought it was going to be, but some lucky saves on the cover and that kind of thing. Right, let's get on with it. The Space Marines' second turn of movement. They've really pushed forward again with the majority of their forces. As you can see, 5 guys here. Which squad's that, Andy?
That's the Melter squad.
The Melter squad have hopped in there, Rhino, the 4 remaining guys, and are heading straight towards the beast. The Flamestorm cannons here, he's moved forward 6 inches, rumbling along, flames licking out of the ends of those big Flamestorm cannons, ready to set the Inquisitors on fire. These guys have moved forward, and in Psychic, they've got a fire shield. And what that means is that any one within 6 inches, basically, of the target treats all terrain, even open and ground, as dangerous terrain, which means when they pile in on the assault, they'll take a dangerous terrain test, which might hurt 1 or 2. In other news, these guys just pull back here onto this objective because Andy's got the ability to score that for a point. And are they in that, Rhino? Or just they're in it. Okay, cool. And these guys have pushed forward here, these 5, their Rhino having been popped, and the Centurions are just around here in front of the last cannons. They've moved up 6 inches. So, onwards. Oh, one other thing, the Flyers have come in, you got a 5, so just ignore the inhibition or the whatever it's, what's the word?
Thankfully.
Yeah, basically anyway, you just came straight in as a squadron, looking to get the armour 13 on the side of that thing. So, right, yeah, let's get some shooting down. So, as you can see, the Flyers streaking in on the flank there have managed to do a significant amount of damage to the beast. Between them and the last cannons over here. And that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but between those guys, basically, they managed to do 4 shots, 4 hull points just through glances and, bouncing off pens kind of thing. The Centurions sadly managed to do nothing. In other shooting, this 4-up invuln and then also the Artificer armour on the Inquisitor there managed to help them survive a significant amount of damage. In total, they only lost, I think it was 3 of the Vostroyans here, and then also just like a smattering of other guys over there. And
They're alive.
oh, they're alive. Are they actually alive there? Are they doing their thing?
Yeah.
They're just sneaking along. Oh, well, I suppose they are the drop troops, aren't they? Elysian drop troop models. So that's understandable.
Not there.
That was it, really. Pretty good, successful damage on the big guy, and but yeah, the guard are becoming strangely resilient. Assault phase, the veterans charged in, roaring for the Emperor. They smashed into the Inquisitor's lines, managed to slaying quite a few models. We have an Inquisitor here, a Wolf Priest, a normal Vostroyan, man of the line, and also a level 2 Psyker. So there's just the last firstborn son there, Courtiers, a Psyker. That's it. A lot of Space Marines. In terms of victory points, Josh, and what did you get in your turn, dude?
I got 3 altogether now.
Yeah.
Oh, you destroyed someone during the shooting phase already.
On objective 2.
Objective number 2 over there with these cheap little models there.
Yeah, I got objective 6 for this.
Objective 6 with
So
that
I'm on
guy.
4.
So it's 4 to
3.
4 to 3.
You got first blood.
So it's 4 all. Let's go into the third turn. So as you can see, despite heavy casualties, sitting behind the guard lines here, things still feel pretty solid. I wouldn't be too worried if I was stood here on the battlefield. As you can see here, Pask has got prescience off, so that's rerolls to hit with all his chaps. One guy pointing over there, that's Pask. Those 2 going over there. Obviously he's going to go for that order where he can split his fire again. The Vendettas, ignoring the threat of the opposing Stormraven, have streaked across looking at the Land Raiders over here. And then in other news, he tried to get 4-up ward on the big tank but failed it. However, he did get the thing that basically means that everything that shoots at this gets rending, so that's going to be interesting. Misfortune, that's it. Are those conscripts they've rallied?
Yeah,
They're just chilling out behind the lines, feeling pretty cool. So after the shooting, the Beast managed to do some significant damage to the Space Marines. The first burst of fire from the massive bolter gun managed to pop open this Rhino. The second burst of shots finished off the 4 guys inside. Then other shooting smashed around, didn't really do anything. Pask put a lot of shots up into the Stormraven just above him there, but failed to do anything apart from make him jink, because Andy thought there would be a lot more damage coming his way. So that's still significant. Then these 2, Pask's buddies, managed to put a load of shots onto that Land Raider over there, which is now wrecked. And that's pretty much it, isn't it? Nothing else went on. In the assault phase, the Space Marines wiped out the Inquisitor's unit, but Cotiers himself remains defiant, standing there with his Thunderhammer. Did he do any wounds in return?
No.
Missed again, twice in a row. So in movement, these 3 Space Marines stood still, looking down with scorn on the Beast, surrounded by the burning wrecks of 3 vehicles. The Psyker, the Librarian, cast Fire Shield on this flyer, affecting the units within 6 inches around him. If they move, that's dangerous terrain. Other movement, as you can see, nothing really. These guys, the Stormraven went into hover mode, with this guy remaining in flying, streaking past. With the Stormraven in hover mode, he turned. I thought he was going to go for the back of the flyer there, but instead he shot up one of Pask's little bodyguards and exploded him. Then also, absolutely amazing sort of shot. these Centurions, which have messed up every chance they've had to get even a glance over here, managed to destroy the beast, blow him up, left just a molten slaggy crater in its stead. Everyone inside's dead, just absolute destruction. That's it, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Okay. So in terms of Maelstrom points at the end of that turn, because this is in hover mode, Andy scored a point because he had behind enemy lines. Josh got a couple of points as well. Andy got another point. I can't remember how, but basically they're going head to head, 6 all. Let's see what happens in the fourth. Just to swing things a little bit in the guards' favour, in a challenge between Courtiers and the Librarian, they both swung their always strikes last initiative 1 weapons at each other at the same time, and they both slayed each other. So that swings it another point to Josh, so he's ahead 7-6. So yeah, onwards. Basically, Josh has had to, unfortunately, go to do a family thing. So he's very, very kindly left his guard with me to carry on. So I'll see what I can do. See if I can, get glory for Josh. So what I've done, first of all, movement-wise, I've moved these guys up here. Then the conscripts have run forward, rallied themselves, got up 6 inches this way. Pask has moved this way to get an angle on these guys down here, and this guy's immobilised himself as he was going over the edge of this road to pivot, so I'm going to have to shoot at that with him. And then these guys have sped over here, ready to shoot the Land Raider in the side. So So the 2 flyers streaked in and managed to put 2 glances and a pen on the Land Raider, just shaking it so it's snap firing. Over here, I just ran the conscripts up 5 inches, ran these guys over here 5 inches up, and that's for an objective, and then move Pask up just here, just to get that. He's still within 4 of him. So on to the Space Marines' 4th turn. So from the movement phase, it looks like we're finally going to get a bit of a dogfight. We have the Storm Raven coming in on the tail of the Guard Flyers. Then otherwise these guys came over here, and these guys moved around here, and the guys with the grav guns moved towards Pask. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. So with some unexpected phenomenal shooting from this Land Raider, he got some snap shooting off and exploded one of the Vendettas out of the sky. The Storm Raven and the little one and that was it, firing at this guy with everything. I jinked, and he only managed to do 1 pen, but it was shaken, it was stunned, but I'm snap firing next turn basically.
And you're locked for loss.
And that was it. The Centurions failed to get anything off over here. So with an unfortunate turn of events, the mighty Space Marines bravely charged in against Pask, but managed to get 3 1s on their melter bombs. Was it melter bombs?
Crack
grenades.
Just failing.
And just failing miserably. So that was, bravery, but, bad times. Some in the Imperial Guard movement phase, Pask just drove up here and pivoted round. So he's got a couple of options: shoot at these guys, shoot at them over there potentially. His buddy's going to look at those Space Marines there. The Special Forces guys just ran over, jogged over there a little bit, and that was pretty much it. My flyer flew off the board, so on to shoot. So the tank's still rocking around, doing a bit of damage. This guy only managed to put 1 wound on the Space Marines, but then these two, Pask took over, and just with his Punisher cannon, didn't have to take over with his melter, he just wiped the rest of the squad out. And that was it pretty much. The conscripts took some pot shots, but of course it came to nothing because those guys 5 movement. The Storm Raven swung round here, hover mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then these guys have just pulled round the wreck of this tank, here with Centurions flanking round as well, taking a wide arc. I think probably looking at these conscripts here. So that is the final turn, and boy has it been effective one for the Space Marines. A last sort of defiant push to smash the guards, smite them into the dust. So Pask took a glance or a pen. He was immobilised by the Storm Raven there. And then what finished him off? Oh, a couple of Bloodstrike missiles, wasn't it? Oh, well, not Bloodstrike, that's still dangerous, but Stormstrike missiles finished him off. And then over here, this guy finished my final Paskinator style bodyguard off after he did take one glance from the Centurions over there who flanked round. The conscripts took fire from Kraken rounds over there, but managed to hold just about on their leadership. And these guys lost just 2 guys, which failed to make them take a leadership test. So the final score is 11 to the Guards. They got 3 points at the end of the 4th turn, but only 1 at the end of their 5th. To 8. Line Breaker and obviously Warlord there to finish it off. So a narrow victory for the Guard, but obviously if curtains close, but if it were to go on, we're looking at around 20 Guardsmen, toughness 3, whatever equipment they've got. It's not going to last against this kind of stuff, but obviously the Inquisitor with his scheming ways has managed to do whatever he wanted to do, and off he goes, and that's that. Good battle though, pretty epic as we said.